This is the beginning of our 3.5-week trip from Amsterdam to Boston. Grabbing a quick bite to eat and some refreshments in the lounge there at Charlotte, waiting our flight to Detroit. This is us on our way to Detroit. Things were going well at this point. We did run into some problems in Detroit, though. The 3-hour layover turned into a 7.5-hour layover. We finally did get aboard our flight to Amsterdam from Detroit. The flight went well. They didn't make up any time. We had a canal boat ride scheduled for 7 p.m. that night. With the plane being late, we were really jammed on time. We paid for a taxi. It was $110 from the airport to Zaandam. And then we got a quick shower at our hotel after checking in and made our way via the train to Amsterdam Central and walked to the canal boat ride. The owner and tour guide was Captain Jack himself. We were in contact with him via the app on TripAdvisor. He was quick to respond. We turned out to be only 1 minute late. They were there waiting on us. It was a really great experience, and we highly recommend this canal boat tour.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
So that scraping sound, that's my antenna.
Yep.
Giving the toll people out back a heads up. Stacy. We've got 1,700 bridges in Amsterdam. They're varying heights, but today we're pretty high water, so we don't have a tidal influence in the canals. But if you look above the shoreline, you can see there's like 2-3 inches of thick green algae. You see no algae at all, we're in the highest water, and you see about a foot of algae, we're low water. So we always keep the water variance within that foot. We haven't had a flooding in Amsterdam since 1852. But before that time, we've had so many. This is why the Dutch are also the tallest nation in the world. The short people didn't make it. Average Dutch male is 6 foot. Average Dutch female is 5'6".
Snacks and refreshments were provided on the boat. And there was a small restroom. It was tight, but usable. There are a lot of options when it comes to canal rides in Amsterdam. This one was a little more personalized. We found Captain Jack to be informative and very personable. This is a former police station in Amsterdam. And like I had mentioned earlier, we were able to communicate with them through the TripAdvisor app, which is kind of handy because we didn't have to worry about making international phone calls or anything like that. I've speeded this tour up quite a bit in the video here. We spent an hour and a half on this canal tour. A little more extensive, I think, than some of the other tours that run about an hour. These folks are enjoying the sunny day, and this is at a restaurant that's underneath a parking garage. This tour has a maximum of 8 people, and there were 5 of us on this tour. You have the option to sit in the back where we were, or to sit inside. When you're going about Amsterdam, you'll see a lot of bicycles, and you have to be careful not to be run over by them. It was more than once that we wandered in the wrong place, I guess, because we about got ran over by somebody on a bike. You can see some of the other options for canal tours as this video progresses. From renting your own boat to getting on one of the kind of the mega size canal tours. We stayed at the Best Western in Zaandam. It was a great place to stay for us. I would actually highly recommend staying in Zaandam. It was a very beautiful city. I'll show you some shots of that here a little later in the video. It was only a 15-minute train ride from Zaandam to Amsterdam Central. The walk to most anything we had to go to in Amsterdam was not terribly long and pretty easy. I wouldn't say that Amsterdam is real friendly for walking in, just because of traffic and bicycles. Sometimes the sidewalks are not defined real well, and you can just got to pay attention. But things are it is walkable. Don't get me wrong there, but you do have to pay attention where you're going and your surroundings. There were a lot of bridges on this tour. I didn't show you near even half of them, I don't think, in this video. Would have liked to have done a nighttime or at least maybe a sunset riverboat cruise here, or canal cruise. But with the being the time of year it was, days were very long and we aren't going to stay up that late. The bridge ahead that we're getting ready to go under is called the Skinny Bridge. The bridge we just passed under is called the Blue Bridge. This is the National Opera and Ballet Theater. This is the flower market here on the left-hand side of the boat. This is from the other end that we'll be seeing a little bit further in the video when we visit there the next day. This is a bridge under a very large road next to the flower market. This is a Catholic church that was opened in 1883. We did get a bite to eat after we finished our canal boat ride. Just got some tapas at a nearby restaurant. That was really good. And we got back on the train and headed back to Zaandam and crashed in our hotel for the night. This is the access to a bicycle parking garage. You can see Amsterdam Central in the background. And this is inside Amsterdam Central. We found the trains easy to access and inexpensive. They pride themselves on being on time. And found that if you get your directions via Google and indicate that you're traveling on the train or mass transit, it will point you in the right direction as far as getting on the train number and other information you would need to find the right train, including the timetable for the upcoming trains. We found most of the trains were pretty good about having informational screens to let you know what stop was approaching, but not all of them. We were counting our stops and kind of trying to pay attention to what was going on there. Following day, we had tickets for the Anne Frank house. We also had gotten the tickets that would give you the kind of a half-hour preview of the tour and give you a little more explanation on the timeline and everything. This is that part of that tour. We found it to be informative, and this is actually one of the few places that you could actually take pictures, because we're not supposed to take any video or pictures inside the Anne Frank house. After the Anne Frank house, we went out and explored Amsterdam. We did experience a few protests around the city, including the train station there in Zaandam. We walked around it. They were kind of blocking the doorway, but didn't cause us any issues. And all the protests that we saw in the city were peaceful and not directed towards tourists at the time. We did do a little bit of souvenir shopping. This store, everything was supposed to be made in Holland. I think it was. It's a little hard to tell sometimes. We did walk down through the flower market a bit. This is the beginning of that. I think we picked up a couple souvenirs, but none of the flower bulbs or seeds or anything that a lot of the shops are selling. We had heard that that's not a great deal anyway. Then of course you have to worry about getting them back through customs. We asked the shopkeeper where we did buy something, where the best stroopwafels were. She steered us into a really good place. Okay. But first we had to get a smashed penny made. This stroopwafel store was very close to the flower market. It was really, really good. The smell in there was just really awesome. You'll see in a moment here, they do provide you with a wet nap because these are a bit sticky and messy at times. Sorry. We got a chocolate and an original stroopwafel. They were very sweet, but it's something you got to try if you go to Amsterdam.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sometime later, after getting our stroopwafels, we did find a place to eat. The food was very good, and had a good time just enjoying the local culture there. Late in the afternoon, we got some frites, which Amsterdam is famous for, and if you're ever there, I'd highly recommend you try those. After a bit of a break, we took the recommendation of a Scottish fellow that we met at the hotel, went the other way from the train station here in Zaandam. This is the entrance to the train station right here where you can get your tickets and everything. Zaandam was just a beautiful place to walk down through, the canals and the buildings. It was well kept, very, very pretty. We wandered around for a little while and then got a bite to eat at a pizza restaurant. The following day, we got up, took a taxi to the cruise port. Then out on our ship, the Zuiderdam, which started our 3-week cruise to Boston, the Norway, Iceland, Greenland, Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, and Bar Harbor. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you tune in for further adventures on this 3-week trip that we took across the North Atlantic Ocean.